What's going on, guys? It's Voodoo51292 here, and I have to make another midweek update. Today's Friday, April 8th, and it's not an update I intended on doing, but this is an update about Homefront and the Gamefly situation. As you know, I've been meaning to do a playthrough of Homefront forever. I had trouble with Gamefly the first time with Homefront. I had it on my game queue, and they never sent me the game, and after the 5th day of them not sending me the game, I had to take it off my list and move Crisis 2 up to #1 because they refused to send Homefront. And I said, okay, well, once I beat Crisis 2 and send it back, then I'll try to get Homefront and see if they will send it to me then. So that's exactly what I did. I sent Crisis 2 back. I got an email on Wednesday morning, 2 days ago, from Gamefly telling me, hey, we received Crisis 2 back in the mail. Your next game will ship shortly. So that's fine. Wednesday they didn't ship Homefront. All day yesterday, Thursday, they didn't ship it either. And this morning when I looked, they hadn't shipped it still. So again, we were having problems with them sending Homefront. Even if they had sent Homefront today, I wouldn't have gotten it by the weekend because it takes 2 days. And they don't send mail on Sunday, so I wouldn't have gotten it till Monday, and it wouldn't have worked anyway. Well, just a few minutes ago, I checked my Gamefly account on my iPod over at the cafeteria where we just ate, and I'm going to show you. I have my laptop pulled up here with my Gamefly screen pulled up, and I'm going to show you what they actually decided to do. So what I have to do is I'm going to have to grab the camera here from the tripod so I can bring it over and show you guys. Oh, come on. There we go. Exactly what I'm talking about. Let me get this strap on here. Strap on my hand. That sounded weird. Okay, so let's come over to the computer and look. Now, as you can see, whoa, that glare is really bad. Let's move it this way. See if this is better. Okay, as you can see, this is my game queue, alright, in Gamefly. Now, you know, it looks like it makes sense, okay? As we see, first is Homefront, then Mortal Kombat, then Brink, Infamous 2. As we scroll down, we've got Dead Island, Rage, Arkham City, Battlefield 3. Okay, this makes sense, right? Well, isn't there a game that seems to be mysteriously missing right here between Infamous 2 and Dead Island? A game that, you know, I had planned on playing and catching up with during the summer because I heard such good things about it. And it was a long game. You know what I'm talking about? If you remember my game schedule videos? Yeah. Mass Effect 2. Where the hell is Mass Effect 2? Well, guess what? If you scroll up to the top, look at this. They sent me Mass Effect 2. Games I have out, PS3, Mass Effect 2, shipped 4/8/2011. They shipped me Mass Effect 2 today. And I know exactly why this happened. And I'm going to bring the camera back to the laptop, to the tripod now, and just talk about this a little bit. Okay, so let me bring this back and set it back on its tripod. Whoa, that didn't work. Hold on. Alright, there it is. So, alright. So, why? Why did they decide to send me Mass Effect 2? Well, I know exactly why, and it's stupid and it makes no logical sense. Okay? If you read on the thing when you don't have games out, and it says you have no games out, it says we will ship your next available game within 24 hours. I don't know if you caught that when you saw over here, but it said availability for Homefront was low. And so exactly what happened, they didn't have Homefront to send me, basically. So the next game that has been released on my queue was Mass Effect 2, and they decided to send that game to me. Now, here's why this is stupid and makes no sense, okay? Let's say that there was a game coming out this Tuesday that I really wanted, okay? And this Tuesday coming up. And, as you know, as I figured out with Homefront the first time, unless you have this game pending on your queue #1 on its release day, you know, if you try to get it or try to add your name to the list on or after release day, you're not going to get the game because they send them to all the people who have the game on their list on release day first, and they run out. So, say there was a game this Tuesday coming out that I wanted to be on my list. And I ordered, or they should have received my order for Homefront on Wednesday when they got my Crisis 2 back. Well, let's say they pulled this stunt and well, not arbitrarily, but they sent me Mass Effect 2 today. I would be completely screwed. Why? A, because I'm on the plan that I can only have one game out at a time, okay? And so what that means is that they sent Mass Effect 2 today. Now, as I said, that game's not going to get to me, to my house, until Monday, probably. Then I would have to put it in the mail and send it back. There's no way it's going to be back to GameFly the next day on Tuesday. I'm screwed, and I have a game, I'm going to have a game out on that Tuesday when a major game is releasing. Therefore, my name is not counted on that list. Everybody else gets that game that I want on Tuesday, and I don't because Mass Effect 2 is not back. That's ridiculous. And I did not want them to send me Mass Effect 2. What I wanted to happen was, even if they sent Homefront today, I wouldn't have been able to play it this weekend. However, the way it is that I could actually play the game next weekend and send it back. Because again, the big releases aren't until 2 weeks, or, you know, not this Tuesday coming up, but a week from then. So what I wanted them to do was to keep Homefront #1 so that when they did have an available game, they would send it to me. But now, what happens if they get Homefront, you know, during the course of this weekend or early to mid next week? What if they get a bunch of those back? Well, guess what? They're not going to send it to me. They're going to turn around and ship them back out to people who have it on their list and don't have any outstanding games. So, if they do get Homefront available during this weekend or early to mid next week, while I still have Mass Effect 2 out, I'm not going to be able to get Homefront because they won't send it to me because I have a game out. So this kind of screws me over. Why? Because I'm not going to be able to play Homefront this weekend, at least not from GameFly. And like I just said, if they do get more back, they're not going to send it to me until until Mass Effect 2 gets back to them. Because as soon as that game gets to my house, I'm turning around and immediately putting it back in the post office because I don't want it yet. I'm going to play it during the summer. I don't have time to play it now. And so, that means that if the game gets back on Monday, I send the game back on Monday, they probably won't get it till Wednesday. And even if they still have any available copies and send it out on, like, you know, Thursday, I may get it by Saturday. I may not. And either way, even if I do get the game by next weekend, then I still wouldn't be able to get the Homefront back to GameFly in time for them to send me Mortal Kombat. So there's absolutely no way now that I can get Homefront from GameFly. It's impossible now. Had I kept Homefront #1, and there may have been some available, you know, games, and they sent it to me, and I got it on, say, next Friday, I could start playing it and get it in the mail that next Saturday morning, then there's a chance that, yeah, they'd get the game back on, like, Monday, and probably send me Mortal Kombat on Tuesday. But it's impossible now, because they sent me Mass Effect 2. And here's another thing that makes sense. Again, they sent it to me because it says that, you know, the game availability is low. Well, it's not consistent, because when I put in my order for Killzone 3, you'll remember I put it in like a week after release, because that's when I activated my account with GameFly. They said the availability was very low. Not just low, very low. And I put in my order, still within 24 hours, they sent me the game and I got it in 2 days. This just says low, and they claim that they have none to send me, and send me Mass Effect 2, which I had 6 games down my list. But it was the only one on my list that had been released. So their availability status isn't consistent, because they sent me a game within 24 hours that was very low, but now they claim the game is just low. They don't send it to me the first time for 5 days, and now they don't send it to me now, and instead send me Mass Effect 2. So I don't know what's going on with GameFly. The system's stupid. What they should do is they should send you an email and say, listen, the game that's #1 on your queue we don't have right now. We can't send it to you. Do you want us to send Mass Effect 2 or whatever game? Do you want us to send us that? Or do you want us to keep this game in your top, and then when we get more we'll send them to you? That's what should happen. They shouldn't just automatically send you another game because it screws me over and I don't want this game. It's getting put directly back in the mail as soon as I get it, because I can't play it right now. So that's what should happen. They should send you an email. But of course they're not going to do it, because these people don't think No one thinks anymore in this world. They don't think logically to do something like that. So, overall, what does this mean? Well, it means that, like I said, you know, I'm not going to be able to play Homefront this weekend or next weekend, at least not from Gamefly. And if I don't play it then, I'm not going to play it till the summer because my April, May, and most of June is completely filled with games. So here's what I'm going to have to do. I don't want to do it, but I don't have a choice right now. Either tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to have to go to my local Blockbuster at home and pay another $10 to rent Homefront from Blockbuster so that I can play it. Because if not, I'm not going to have an option, and I'm going to have to completely wipe Mass Effect 2 from my queue. Because guess what? Even if they had sent me Homefront, let's just say that they had sent me Homefront this weekend, and you know, I beat it, like I said, in one day on Saturday and put it back in the mail Sunday. And let's say they got the game back on, say, Tuesday of next week. If they got the game back on Tuesday, well, that's a whole week away from the other Tuesday. That means that the only game left on my queue that has been released is Mass Effect 2, which means as soon as they got my Homefront back, they would have sent me Mass Effect 2. And that would have screwed me over because I wouldn't have been able to get the game back to them in time for the next week. So I'm going to have to completely eliminate Mass Effect 2 from my GameCube until I absolutely want the game. Because if not, they're just going to send it to me. So I have to pay another $10 to sit there and play this game for 3-4 hours, because that's how long the campaign is, and I can't play the multiplayer because it needs a code. I'm going to have to spend that extra money, even though I've spent $16 already this month on Gamefly. I'm going to have to pay another $10, rent Homefront, and play it this weekend on my own and bring it back to Blockbuster. So Homefront will happen this weekend. Now, the only thing is unless Blockbuster doesn't have any copies, which I find that really hard to believe that they wouldn't. But if they don't, then I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. I can try to go rent it again next weekend from Blockbuster, but other than that, it's just like I'm just not meant to play this game. Gamefly's system of sending games makes no sense. You cannot just send another game to somebody that they don't want without asking them, because it creates problems, and it's creating me a giant problem right now. Like I said a couple of times, I wanted Homefront to stay #1. That way, when they got more in, they could immediately send them to me. But now that's not going to happen. So I've got to clear Homefront off my GameCube, and I've also got to clear Mass Effect 2 because it's just creating problems. So I swear to you, I will play this game Homefront. It's like the universe is trying to stop me from playing it. I want to play it, and so I'm going to have to spend the extra $10 at Blockbuster. There's no way around it at this point. If I want to play this game anytime soon, then that's what I'm going to have to do. So I apologize to you guys. It's not my fault. Neither time I did what I was supposed to do and put the game up there. Gamefly just, the first time, refused to send it, and then this time sends me a completely different game that I don't even want, and I'm going to be putting directly back in the mail the day I get it. So, good job, Gamefly. Your system makes no sense. Am I surprised? Hell no. A lot of people who make these business models are incompetent nowadays, and here's just another example of it. Because this screws me over, and I don't see the hard part of sending an email saying, do you want us to keep this game #1 so that when there's a new one in you can get it, or do you want us to just go ahead and send you your next available game? That's what should happen. It obviously didn't happen, and now twice I've learned the hard way how to operate Gamefly, and it's important for you guys if you're trying to get Gamefly so that you don't have this problem. Again, sometimes Gamefly releases the game a day before the official release date, sometimes not. You have to check their website to make sure, and also just be cognizant that if you have another game on your schedule that's been released and you don't want it, take it off of your thing, because if not, you're getting it anyway. So, alright, that's all I have to say. Homefront will happen this Saturday, if Blockbuster has it, which I assume they will, and look for that to start coming up on Sunday night. So thanks, guys, and Homefront will proceed.